Ebusuya memo akwaba sonko kura do be ye PhD TV ebusuya na makacho se Ghana manyo sama etwego eye hot political update na me be dom wo channel eso sanso na sema hodo ya fa papa onabo Kennedy akompre kuntun Ohene Agyapong bema Bemo sinsu mansana oham ne ho sem de bebre na e na wo beti e wo channel eso entine no first time ho ba channel so mesro bo modern subscribe channel no efma me video ya wo hwe bo modern share video we fa ma onua no nya bi nhwe nte de ekoso e wo man Ghana asi edi amje so eye Uncle Addo Ken ebuso yewura yadi na lawyer Kwasi Kwarteng madam fo pa menua bema preko pe ne politics bu no betu baka so bi edi nka de ne cheme no oka ho bi wona ne politics de wo mo cheme asnua na ade ni nyina Kwasi Kwarteng eka ho bi na sisi ade me no kase de ono ena kasa de ma ye papa ona bo Kennedy akompre ko Ohene Agyapong campaign no atiase even Kennedy na kasa mpuno sisi ona kasa e de ma no well nitua e ba ne kasa communication Kwasi Kwarteng eye soronko kura soronko kura enka ni bi no abra na MPP aban wo so ona na kasa de ma Ministry of Education in fact ona na kasa e de ma mo nti on de ba ne kasa de a waben ene Ghana manyos waben ankasa nti no ye lawyer no nebusia anasare me ya anasen nsem yi baaye anano ada Angel FM hono mo a eneja omkofa lawyer bi anala wabonwa na nsem fun kwa no be kan de fa ye papa na bu Kennedy akompre ko ni Japan se it's a shame se Kennedy akompre ko ni Japan akokot na court so ontu $500 na Kennedy Japan eligibility it is here there kobrane black Mary Kennedy akompre ko ni Japan se ontu a sika ne be ye 30 million enfama no na ontwa asem no so na asem no ontwa so wa black Mary Kennedy sa ya nas wa black Mary Kennedy sa ema asem ne tuma kwa kopim court ama asem na ko ye yama se court se Kennedy nkotu afafe na o se this no call for jubilation call for jubilation na odwen se $80 million no edafom anke afa bepa ho na woni ndwuma betuma bie e de amagana fo woni ndwuma betuma bie de amagana fo na Kennedy jubility a lawyer no ebetena Angel ho bekeka nkwase asem eno na yewura Kwasi Kwarteng so beto abetutu bi de ama lawyer no se wo nkwa asole you don't go to church ma men kan kiro se woni mbra na ma men kiro se nya mbra no esibi weke mbra na nkasa no eda ho saa no enye se nya wo hunu na wo ko law school wehimfa ende watiti bi de ama omo pa na ende ode Angel fo so de omo so omuja lawyer no e ma ne kasa biala de gu ho tantantan basasa e wo bra visit na kasa e baaye no fana visit no lawyer no okrem kra wantuma nwredi bi but onim ohunya sa bekeka nkwasesem enti Kwasi Kwarteng dia mema na wo de mumehwe de koso
kama eno say it's a significant legal victory. Kennedy Agyapong celebrate outcome announced defamation case into the Democrat. Chairman Kwahumaso na mene Kwasi Kwarteng Frimpong. Oka or lawyer ni qualified and practicing lawyer and Oka Honorable Kennedy akompre ko Agyapong ni team no ehon yene no ebo enkomo lawyer oti enka yemo ache
Menya mejoso metia woni atiefo yina nso
na umpombo de
o radio Addo me hoye
yede nyame ase eno a de yeye hu ye video a eba ya na Honorable Kennedy Agyapong kasa about defamation case ana koso US abruchi maimu no ehon edi kan mi hu video no mi se na o yourself twitwa pictures ni ade how did Kennedy Agyapong receive this news?
Well, I make us say, or no, any team I receive as a good news. And now you want to say, Sebio, audio be quarter, we are expectations I will both sides, whether they be a plaintiff and answer respondent, you know. Sebi one will be do quarter to say of an amount of $30 million.
Angel.
To the extent the crowd say jury award our donor $80 million or say as I'm very in Canada. Na actually about $500. To you now, said you now you are about facing such outrageous financial damages and monetary damages. You know. Certainly, we want to say as papa. Na the man na ya papa cry my say Emma a cause for Patotimenka, Emma a cause for celebration, and they say Oshe Ura Kennedy Japan. Or no one Kasani and us in your problem be our Sassi soda. And yet, Adia, Anas, investigation be a Kennedy Japan, they will move. A Bribiano, a MPP, Anna, Ura Kennedy fighting for and then be drew baby, not only MPP, certain individuals also Ura Kennedy Japan, who say, Anas, modus and operandi in the choir of Faso, a Jumano. Are causing more damage than good, and for that matter, he stood for those vulnerable people. And so, as a Mikoba, yeah, now, you can't say jury award $18 million. And then, even a judgment of the court. Unfortunately for us, if we know MPP, we are almost celebrity. If I pay a law, as one say, our and this in Igbo, I joining MPP. Ono kwa de oko congratulate announcing na then MPP ni in the course of fighting for the MPP. Akunya mani anase wakunya ensohwe. Na asemaba utimi ko boni pa one na nya ensohwe na yede abaso. And so within that context and flowing from that context, when the court now finally brought their judgment, which is now the final judgment of the court, say $500. Eddie who say na Ura Kennedy at least Yankopona Akana Samayede Abano. So that is the context of celebration. And now we will say anyway you put your trust off.
Who said that?
And now Mofidi is me who said when a lawyer back interviewer or say Adana celebrating celebrity as a unfit.
Okay, a lawyer God love Jim crying.
I feel say and come on Nessa Casasa and Sebi. Yeah, the full context of Addo be the idea. And Sana via Yabetina radio so to pass those comments. Say or a lawyer ni you go to court, but to that you say our client our representative no charges a jabon the meda. So I will name say you cry a courtroom. So be at 25 years, be so this number of years. But yes, so you go with a strategy. Maybe our strategy, ultimately 4 years. If we're a lawyer, you see that as victorious. From 25 to 4 years, you see it as victorious. And why wouldn't you celebrate? Why wouldn't you be excited? It is will be the one for course of $30 million a free one. Now at the end of the day, if you party from Boko and now come on, it be any agent. Now you pass a judgment. Now finally. One more say $18 million. Say no scientists are $500. Now when you now then you pass here. What is wrong with that? MPP now say can intimate representative. Your coalition share your portal 1.7 million difference. Bible and Kasa again in the as a damn ready. The second Thessalonians. And then they are raging. So what is so wrong with Ken say you acquire saying and then he pardon their faso. Na nyamia kona sama manuntino or da nyamia so what is so wrong with that? Enuntino lawyer need better TV radio so kase onye fit for presidency. One the culture of eligibility and qualification for presidency, about celebration on electoral on court outcomes. That is very clear in the constitution. What will qualify you to contest for president? It's not about whether or not you lost a court victory. Again, so here Nensemna or Sakekana or say, defamation, and just Kennedy Elusu case, on defamation. Just say, I mean, you can be brave, but bottom line is, I think we should be measured with some of our utterances when it comes to this, especially when we don't know the full context.
But what happened? Then a course from 18 million about $500.
And good. And is a very good question. First of all, lawyer no better than radio, so no misinform the public, Say judgment by a slash judgment, na Kennedy finally be a friend remitted. In the first place, sir, $500 is not based on the remitted application. Remitted an say that was the original plan of Kennedy's lawyers, but they did not even file the application. They also say in US, especially New Jersey, say offender say defamation actionable per se. Asem na oka ye no. Ye explanation be as far as oka you are not able to support empirical evidence no. Actionable per se. Okay, you reckon as up for now so a criminal and corrupt. His reference or the suppose a judgment of a court from Ghana here and a judge in a Qatar. But the US court now US court before you can call somebody a criminal, the person must have gone through a criminal prosecution and criminal process and not necessarily a civil process. In the civil process in there they onion too. It is on that basis in Tina one can say or the court says you reckon and prove the allegations in or yeah. Now fast forward, the jury brought an award of $80 million if you recall. First of all, understand that the verdict of the jury is not the same as the judgment of the court. They said there is no way so because slash even the judgment of the court. When a judgment of a court comes out, what you do is you appeal. You don't go and slash it. But in U.S. court, I agree, they have a process called remediator. And what we did first of all was to object to the award they can buy. Award, instructions of the court, who say we a jury court, the judge gives you specific instructions to follow. If you don't follow those instructions, I say this is a Jumedia wedding in a feeling the Abahon. So Ken's lawyers first of all objected to Sir award the award no quite enter same into the record of the court for it to even become the judgment of the court in the first place. So simplicity, there was just an award which was hanging. Again, we move even from objection because when you objected on grounds of mistrial. Our court local cast a Yemfankugun Krata Sonia de Emra. But say you even a honor you move free honor. Ken's lawyers exploited even the same statute in New Jersey and Manchester. Now almost a file application be a friend of motion to mold the award of the jury. Na mo do say you won kwara e class and you can say mold be a particular ni moldua o don sabe wo ba na wanya object ni ade the mold na dey so kra betimi dia buwa na waye enye remetator na o ka ho asem no and I can send to you the motions on file here na unim New Jersey mremo no so obi a file for defamation no succeed here before any pakono will be entitled to what we call actual damages Actual damages, Nipan Kono should be able to prove to the court to say we inherited some economic loss to be. So economic loss in which sense? I say be a car abo na be 3 years juma. So no juma say you should be able to prove to the court some for juma a day. I say and that. If we're able to prove to the court say juma say that is where the court will agree with you say within 3 years juma that juma say that will give you an economic damages. Now, what me prove economic loss on the amount, actual damages now. Then the court will also add what you call punitive damages. Not just any pakona or this harm and answer damage or you need to also yeah panel said the bear was on the only view. In New Jersey, the honey at year Uko New Jersey. So be an prove actual damages on most statutes, then the person automatically forfeit or is not entitled to what we call the punitive damages. It is the only thing that will now be left, what we call compensatory damages for the person. So far as which my established there has been defamation against him. Compensatory damages, per the laws of New Jersey, it should not exceed anything more than $500. So per the laws of New Jersey, exceed $500. And on that basis, the only thing the court can award is maximum $. And at least when he is educating us as lawyers, he should educate us on that rightful basis.
Okay.
Say, say there, then on that grounds, say, on that grounds, say the objection of not all or can. It's not as though say will be file application for remediator or part of our center. So no. Okay. The motion and the motion to mold the judgment of the court.
Okay. All right, lawyer, my papa na yemfa unsia.